Well, hello everybody, this is DearMamaSal on a chilly, by comparison, Thursday morning. Yay, Thursday! For those of you who don't know, I don't work on Fridays, so Thursday is my Friday. It's 11 degrees in southern British Columbia, which would make it 51 degrees in the US. It was quite funny because it was really about 3/4 of the way through the vlog yesterday that I realized I had not given the temperature report. And I thought, well, never mind, we'll see if anybody notices. And apparently nobody did, so maybe I don't need to do that. No, it's what I do. That's what I do. Get used to it. All right, so I scared myself stupid yesterday. Again. Where did that expression come from? Scared myself stupid. I started stupid. Don't scare myself there. Anyway, never mind. Because what happened was I drove home and I noticed there was steam or smoke, because they look the same when you're not sure what you're looking at, coming out of the top of one of the vents out of my house. Now, you know, after the scare of the weekend, you understand I'm a little hypersensitive, to things like that. So I got into the house and suddenly there was this smell I didn't recognize as well, and I'm thinking, my God, is my house on fire? At some level, you know. And the worrying thing was that both Wade and Yvonne's cars were missing. For those of you who don't know, they are both my tenants and my friends, but they live downstairs and their cars were both missing. So I'm thinking, if something's going on in the suite, but I wasn't listening to any fire alarms or anything going off, so or smoke detector type noises. So I'm thinking, no, I don't know what this is. And I got all the way to the kitchen of my part of the house when I thought, you know something? I do recognize that smell. And then I had to process a bit and realize it was the smell of the furnace. On September the 2nd, my furnace had kicked in. I mean, doesn't it know it's not time yet? We're still in summer. Fall doesn't arrive until for another 3 weeks nearly. Well, near enough anyway. And only then do we go into winter. So the fact that my furnace kicked in on September the 2nd was very concerning to me. I cannot tell you how much I stomped around the house going, that's not right. And then, of course, the intelligent part of me, again, we were talking about this yesterday, about the difference between your logical side and your emotional side. So my logical side was saying, it is what it is, Sal. It's that cold. And then the kid in me is having a little snip going, but it's not fair. It's not time yet. I need more summer. So, and you could almost see her, you know, stomping her foot and having a little 2-year-old tantrum. Yeah, but really, I mean, I know I live in Canada, but hello? I can't remember ever, in all the time that I have been here, I cannot remember the furnace kicking in early September. Well, we'll see. So I know that some of you are still in sweltering heat and you're probably going, na 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 na, and that's okay. It just is so weird. But I'm very grateful to have a temperature controller in my life. that kicked in and warmed up the house for me. Apparently it needed it. I've got to go down there and change the filter again. That's the other thing. Because probably the smell that I smell is a lot of dust coming out of that system. Oh, by the way, tip of the day. Tip of the day for those of you who have forced air through your system. I don't know, I'm sure a lot of you probably already know this and do this, but I found taking the air vent grill off and then wrapping a bounce sheet or one of those type sheets around your air vent and then putting it back again does two things. Number one, it acts as a very efficient filter, and number two, sure makes the house smell good. So just a thought. I wonder whether, we just are going to have fall much earlier this year. I'm seeing the trees starting to turn, but not significantly. That's a big word for me at this time of the morning. Significantly enough. I really didn't get that word out. I didn't think it was enough. Oh. So, how was your day? I wanted to ask you guys, if you haven't done so, because I know we've got a lot of new people around, check the box below here, the see more box or whatever it's called, more information type box that drops down below the video. If you haven't done so, could you fill in the balance survey? There is a link there somewhere to the balance survey to find out how in balance your life is. And if you fill that in, I try and do it about once a year. I encourage people to fill it in. And by the way, if you filled it in before, just do this year's version. Because what I'm trying to do is to get an idea of where everybody's at. That sort of helps me in terms of what material am I going to put together for the fall. And from the figures that I looked at, it's interesting. There's been a bit of a shift. But I don't want to talk about the figures until I've got, a lot more people that have had a chance to fill in the survey. I've been running the survey ever since I started DearMamaSal, or just about ever since I started. And I really do use it as a benchmark, because it tells me basically what do you guys want more of. It tells me where you're at in your lives. Are you feeling good in your relationships? Are you feeling good in your financial situation or your home life or whatever? It tells me what sort of areas to be focusing on for the coming season or coming year. And we are at a stage now where I'm beginning to look at some forward thinking for the coming season. And if there are any topics that you guys would really like me to talk about on my morning drive, feel free to let me know. I can't guarantee I will talk about them, but it certainly is good to have them on the list so that I know that I'm covering subjects that some of you really would like me to talk about, as opposed to the ones that I choose to. The whole thing about being aware of the balance, and that's why I'm saying if you did the survey last year or the year before, just do it again, please, because you will have shifted. You will have changed the way you look at the world, the way that you feel or do not feel balanced. And it gives me an idea to be able to look at, 1 year versus another, how are people doing? And are we catering to those needs, which I think are terribly important that we look at those sort of things. I will do what I can to bring that link up closer to the top, so maybe it's visible without you having to scroll down. And if I forget to do that, I'm sure somebody will remind me. And but actually it'd be a good idea for me to also put that on Facebook, I think. I'm talking out loud here. I got a really nice bit of feedback from I stopped in my talking because I've got a snail in front of me. It's disguising itself as a car, but it actually is a snail. And it's very funny. And there are some people who will understand that it's possible freezer material as well. I'll get back to the freezer material in a minute. So, there you go, move over, good idea. Very pretty little thing. Probably got her feet through the floorboards running up the hill, because I don't think it's got the power to go up it. So, somebody wrote to me yesterday. I know that's what I was saying. I'm trying to remember who it was now. Wait, I gotta think this one through. Because it was important. Rats. Don't you hate that? Huh. I know they thanked me for something, and that's what I wanted to bring to the table today, and that was going to be my topic for the day, and now, because of that little interruption of thought pattern, I have clean forgotten what it was. So let me talk about something that I saw on the comments overnight. Sam wrote to me, and she said that she really appreciated yesterday's vlog, where I talked about helping and understanding people in stress, and that she really hadn't thought about it. The other thing I noticed was a couple of people actually apologized, which I didn't need for people to do. That wasn't my intent in doing that. What I wanted to do was to draw people's attention to the fact that be more aware of people's feelings when they're dealing with stress. And so I would seek forgiveness for anybody who decided to take it on and feel they needed to apologize to me. That was not my intent at all. I know that everybody's concern about my welfare and about the welfare of my property was very, very real, and I am very appreciative of it. Very appreciative. So look at it and just know that this happens. I really can't call it back, so that's it. that topic's really gone. Hoped it might come flooding back. It probably will around about 10 o'clock tonight or something. Let's carry on talking about balance. I think that once a year is a good time to have a look at your life and have a look at how balanced or unbalanced you are. Now, it's not like a New Year's resolution. It's just like a check-in. You know, I'd like you to check in with yourself and say to yourself, you know, really, am I spending enough time on the areas that are important for me to spend time on? I've always said, and for some of you, you might want to go back. Again, I need to get that link out. There's another video that I did, way back, about the circle of life in a way, where it talks about how if you spend a lot of time, for example, playing, then that part of your life is very good. You know, that part of your life is probably, you're happy. But it's taking time, because time is not infinite, it is finite. We only have 24 hours in a day. But it is taking time away from other areas of your life, be that financial or health or whatever. So I, for example, always have to look at how much time am I spending doing DearMamaSal work versus looking after the rest of my life. And every now and then I need to just shake my head and go, excuse me a second, you know, your life's getting out of control, and the reason is you're spending too much time. And so that is why some of you know that I gave up doing vlogs doing broadcasts, for example, on Saturdays, because I just needed one day where I could just spend it on myself and doing the things I wanted to do, and also entertaining friends that I may want to entertain, or go to visit friends, without worrying about I've got to be back in time to do a broadcast. And that's worked really well for me. Now, the fact that I still do some DearMamaSal stuff, I normally do what I call the fun stuff, the stuff that I find amusing to me. And therefore it is relaxing, it's not a duty type thing. So I'm looking at a balance of where I'm going to be going in the next few months in terms of DearMamaSal, and I'm hoping that a lot of you will come along and join us. For those of you who've never been on a broadcast, we would encourage you to pop in and visit. We do them 3 times over the weekends. 2 of them on a Friday, 1 at noon Pacific time, and 1 at 7 in the evening in Pacific time. So you just need to work out what time it'll be where you're listening. And then we do 1 on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 Pacific time. Now, we've picked those times because they sort of take us around the world. And hopefully that one of those time slots suits you. So what we do is we normally put up a notice about 35 to 40 minutes ahead of time to let you know we're about to broadcast. And we put that up on Facebook and Twitter, if I remember correctly, to press all the right buttons. And it'll also give you the link as to where that broadcast is going to be. So if that's of interest to any of you, just feel free. And then if you come in, make sure that you mention the fact that you were listening to the vlog and the vlog said that you should pop in. And then we know you're not a troll. Because I can assure you, we get them. Good. And by the way, you don't have to talk, you don't have to go up on camera, you don't have to do anything except be there. And on both the broadcast sites that we use, you can just type in your comments if you want to, or you don't have to say a thing. You might want to type in and say hello and let us know you're not a troll. But other than that, you can just sit and listen to what's going on. And as I've said each week, sometimes we laugh a lot, sometimes we cry. And sometimes we do some really good work and help people. So I'm never quite sure what's coming to the party anytime I turn on that broadcast button. But that's half the fun of it, I think. So try and get some balance in your life today. Have a look at it. Have a look at where you need to spend a little bit more time and where you're going to release a little bit of time. This is DearMamaSal saying thanks for listening, and bye-bye for now.